All right, so we're going to get started. So welcome, good morning. Welcome to the Goodyear stand here at the IAA in Hanover. My name is David Ankart, and I'm in charge of the commercial EU business for Goodyear. And today we will cover a couple of important industry trends that are happening. And we will also talk about the response, innovations that Goodyear is bringing that are answers to those industry trends currently happening. So let's start with one main trend. I think you all hear about CO2, you all hear about sustainability. So no surprise that this is a topic that also the transportation industry needs to address. CO2 emissions, if you look at heavy-duty transport, about 1/5 of CO2 emissions in the transportation industry are coming from heavy-duty transport. I think you also know that Europe is issuing and preparing regulations around CO2 emissions of commercial trucks. So if you look at the targets that are being contemplated, a 15% reduction by 2025 of CO2 emissions and a 30% reduction by 2030. So clearly an important trend that also our OE customers need to be aware of. On top of that, it's of course the fleet customer who's going to own a truck that is also having a specific cost structure for his transportation business. So the second trend we are highlighting is the importance of fuel and fuel economy in the cost structure of a fleet owner. So here you see an illustration of what that cost structure looks like, and 27% of the overall cost of the transporter goes into fuel. So today, knowing those two trends, I'll ask you to put yourselves in the shoes of a fleet manager. So imagine you are the fleet manager, you own 100 trucks. You own 100 trucks, and I guess you have that question, and I have the question to you, what do you expect from the tire manufacturers? With those trends, what do you expect from Goodyear? And so what we are presenting today is clearly an answer to those expectations. With those trends, we want to bring, and we are bringing, our Fuel Max Performance product, providing excellent fuel economy, and we are also providing tire management solutions which help you get the best out of your tires over the lifetime of the product. So it's not just the purchase of a product, it's also making sure you get the most out of the product over its lifetime. So let's start with the product now. So the products we are introducing are here in the middle of our stand. So you see those 3 tires standing there. So 2 steer tires, 1 drive tire with excellent fuel economy. A-label tires. A-label tires, but it's not only about the fuel economy. A-label tires that also provide you with excellent grip. That's why you see on the sidewall the 3-peak mountain snowflake, so that little snowflake symbol, which also tells you it meets the requirements, very demanding requirements in terms of grip for those tires. Those tires are also equipped with RFID, so unique identifier for the tire. So you fleet owner can then also at any point in time know which tire you're looking at. You can manage your asset very effectively because you can identify each of your tires in the fleet. So those are the key 3 products being introduced. What's the technology behind those products? How do we achieve that optimum performance between grip, mileage and fuel economy? The key feature is this in commercial truck tires is a premiere for Goodyear, which is a full silica tread compound. So full silica tread compound, what does that provide? It provides you that fuel economy, the low rolling resistance, while at the same time having excellent grip. Now, in addition to the compound, a couple of other features which are very visible in the tread pattern. You'll see longitudinal grooves. You'll also see, and these grooves are optimized in terms of position. You'll also see our IntelliMax groove technology, which is a groove that's appearing over time as the tread wears down. And you'll also see on our products the open tread shoulder grooves. All these features are contributing to that excellent fuel economy, the excellent mileage, as well as the excellent grip, the performance you're looking for your products. I quickly went over it, but take the time, please, on the boot later in the day to look at the tires, and you'll get more details on how each of those features contribute to the tire performance. So now coming back, we are in those fleet shows and you have 100 trucks. You wonder how much is it really contributing in terms of fuel economy. And that's we have illustrated here on the next page. So if you look at the contributions of the tire product in that context, and we are comparing here versus an average B-label tire, which is average in the market, this new technology for you as a long-haul fleet owner is going to bring you up to 290,000 euros in terms of savings over a full year. 290,000 euros of savings by adopting this product to operate your fleet. And so with fuel savings, of course, come also reduced emissions. And if you look at the reduced emissions, 557 tons of less CO2 emissions by adopting this product. So coming back to my two trends that I highlighted at the beginning, clearly a product that meets the requirements of the fleets in terms of fuel economy, as well as reduced CO2 emissions for a sustainable environment. Now, to get the most out of the product, it's not just about buying the product and then you go away for a couple of years, couple of months. No, what we also want to offer is a solution so that you can get the best out of your tires. So how do you get the best out of your tires? Is by also working with the required solutions, getting feedback on how the product is doing. And that feedback is about making sure you know the temperature of the product, that you know if the right inflation pressure is in the product, that you also know the load that's being put on the tires. If you are able to manage this, you'll make sure that the tires always operate in the optimal conditions. You'll get the best fuel economy, you'll get the best performance overall from the tires. And that's what the solutions are offering here. On top of fuel economy, these technologies will also enable you to proactively maintain and avoid breakdowns. So you do not want to get stranded with your truck on the side of the road. You want to avoid getting stranded. So you want the maximum uptime as you operate, and that's what these technologies provide. So what I'm introducing on the next slide is how do we interact with the fleet manager. So we are introducing those fleet manager apps that a fleet manager can have on his mobile phone, on his tablet, whatever the technology or computer can have available, and at any point in time, the fleet manager can go click and see what is the status of my 100 vehicles that are currently on the road. Status is green right now on this screen. If an issue happens in the fleet, so if somewhere a truck has a tire issue, then the fleet manager is going to be warned. So an alert is going to come up. One of those indicators is going to turn red. And if you click on the red, the fleet manager very quickly, and this is real-time coming feedback from the information gathered on the truck with the TPMS device, real-time, the fleet manager gets feedback that there is an issue. Clicking on that red button to have more details on what's happening, here the fleet manager immediately sees on the front left trailer tire something is happening. What is it? You see on the graph on the lower side, temperature is increasing on that tire and pressure is reducing. So you do not want that tire to continue to lose air, neither do you want the temperature to go too high. And that's where working together with Goodyear, you can then locate where is the truck. Working together, we can then work with our Truck Force network, and the Truck Force network will work with you, fleet owner, to go schedule an intervention on that truck. If it's urgent, we'll go to the immediate next step and work on addressing that tire inflation pressure loss immediately. And we'll do what's required, we'll do a diagnostic, and do the required intervention to address the issue. So here also, savings coming together with this. So I'm bringing it back to our key trends that we observed. Here I'm not talking about 100 vehicles anymore. I'm looking at that one vehicle that was running at an underinflation of 1.5 bar over the course of the year. So if you don't address that underinflation, it's going to cost you as a fleet owner 694 euros per year, and that's for one vehicle, or it's going to be 1.3 tons of CO2 emitted because the tire is not running at its optimal inflation pressure. So clearly here, I hope we send you the message that, number one, the product is being complemented by a tire management solution so you get the most out of your product. And that's pretty much summarizing my intervention here. So extreme fuel efficient tires, the Fuel Max performance, complemented with the tire management tool, whether it's our app here or whether it's our drive over reader on which I'm currently standing, drive over reader that enables you to measure the same parameters that I mentioned earlier. So depending on your application, we'll work with you to find the best solution for you to get the most out of your tires and to ensure the best contribution also to the environment. So with this, I do want to invite you to explore our booth. Going to be much more details on the drive over reader, on the applications we have developed for communication with our fleet managers, on our products. So please take the time to discover our booth. In addition to this, we also have organized a demonstration. So a demonstration of our drive over reader is happening on the outside in this direction. But don't hesitate to call on anyone with a white Goodyear shirt. We'll be happy to help you to get to the demonstration. And demonstrations are scheduled throughout the day. So that's where you'll be able to experience the drive over reader. Again, drive over reader, which enables you to get information on load, on the tread wear profile, as well as the inflation pressure of your tires. So with this, I want to thank you for your attention, and I want to open it up for any questions you would have. Are there any questions?
The chips for RFID, are they standard?
So a standard is currently being developed in the industry, but our chip is compatible with what's being developed currently as a standard in the industry.
But do you put the chip in every tire?
So each of those tires is going to be equipped, yes, with RFID. Any other questions? If no other questions, we'll be happy to take more personal questions on our stand, so feel free to engage with any of our Goodyear team's associates, and I wish you all a great IAA. Thank you.